Thank you so much, His Excellency, for speaking to CNN News 18.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, can you provide a brief overview of the key objectives and focus area of the COP28 summit in UAE?
As you saw already, we have we've had quite a few announcements, a few declarations that were signed on to by a few countries. Climate finance was one of the declarations which India kindly supported the UAE, and we managed to operationalize the loss and damage fund, and the UAE contributed $100 million towards that. There was a lot of money on the table from many parties and many countries, and if anything, this is quite significant to the COP28 presidency and the role that the UAE has played in that.
Okay. What specific priorities and initiatives did the UAE bring to COP28 to address climate change, and how does it plan to contribute globally?
As I mentioned, so we have now operationalized the loss and damage fund. There is more than $700 million contributed by countries. From that amount, there's $100 million coming from the UAE. There are declarations with hundreds of countries signing onto them. So, for example, you have the agriculture and food declaration with more than 130 countries signing to that. The climate health declaration with more than 120 countries. The oil and gas decarbonization charter with 50 companies signing on to that, so on and so forth. So if you look at the COP28 presidency overall, you could see that the numbers look good, they're great. We've managed to succeed in quite a few things, and in bringing many countries to agree on moving forward for a better future for everyone. As everyone has been focused on, the goal is clear. We know what we're trying to achieve as a global community. The UAE knows what it wanted to achieve in the COP28 presidency, and I believe the past few days are a testament to that.
Okay, everybody is on the same page when it comes to climate change, but there are disagreements. So how UAE is ensuring or perhaps bringing the countries together to forge consensus or collaborating with the stakeholders in other countries? Is it challenging?
We were very flexible. Obviously it's challenging, but we were also flexible and accommodating. We had comments and feedback all the way to the end. And whenever you get feedback and comments at the end, you have to go and check with the other countries who have agreed already on the text and so on and so forth. But we did this, and we were happy to do this as long as we can bridge the gap in terms of the positions. Because by the end of the day, we understand every country has its own national priorities, and every country has its own development and economic growth goals, and we cannot do injustice to countries by asking them to go above and beyond what they're comfortable with for the sake of one country or another country. So our focus was, yes, we want to be accommodating, we want to be flexible, we want to manage to bridge the gap and bring countries to agree on certain declarations and to sign on to those declarations. And I believe from the numbers that I have quoted earlier, we've managed to do so.
Okay. In a lead up to COP28, there were many initiatives, events which were hosted by UAE, and and their outcomes with respect to India. If you can shed some light on that.
We had many senior officials coming to India from the UAE. So we had His Excellency Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, who's the COP28 president, having his meetings here and back in Abu Dhabi. Whenever senior officials from India visited Abu Dhabi, we've had His Excellency Majid Suwaidi also coming in and having his own meetings. So, for example, he met with the G20 Sherpa to better understand the outcomes from the G20 and how can those be translated into tangible outcomes for the COP28 presidency. He met with the Foreign Secretary at MEA. He met with PMO. He had other meetings as well. As an embassy, we have also had a couple of roundtables where we met with influencers in the climate scene, individuals from think tanks. And the purpose from doing all of this is not only to understand the government position and priorities when it comes to climate action and mitigating climate risk and making sure that we better plan for climate resilience, but to also understand this from individuals in the society who are impacted by this in different ways and who operate in different places and could provide us with different points of view.
Okay. Also, how does UAE plan to monitor and assess the impact of the COP28 outcomes? Because that's also very important.
Absolutely. I mean, announcing numbers and putting money on the table is not the end of the road, and it's not the finish line. Following up from this, we want to make sure that what has come out of the COP28 presidency translates into further tangible outcomes at the next COP presidency, and to make sure that there is a follow through when it comes to the pledges, the amounts that have been promised, and how those are going to be best utilized to arrive at our climate goals.
Also, in India, we usually talk about, we always talk about the bond which the President of UAE and Prime Minister Modi share, and perhaps they met on the sidelines of COP28. If you could shed some light on the discussions that took place, and also since Prime Minister invited His Excellency the President for the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, and perhaps we have also been told that some major announcements are also being planned. If you can shed some light on that.
So I was in the meeting, and whenever they meet, it's always special. They're very good friends, and they've discussed various topics. The most important among them was obviously COP28, but you could see it. I mean, in the conversation, the comments, the way they interact, the way they seem to agree on a lot of things in a wide variety of topics, and I think this is quite special and not something that you get to see in every other relationship. Vibrant Gujarat was discussed. I know I'm going to be in Vibrant Gujarat even a bit earlier for the conclave, leading to the Vibrant Gujarat and Vibrant Gujarat event, and I know that the UAE will be present at the highest level, especially as the UAE being a partner of Vibrant Gujarat. So let's see. I'm sure this is going to be a key event, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. There's a lot of excitement in India when it comes to temple coming up in Abu Dhabi, the BAPS temple. Your thoughts on that?
I'm excited as well. And I know that this is going to be a precedent in the region. Something that individuals generally are not used to seeing, I would say. And we made sure, and I remember I actually posted about this, that you can see it from as far away as possible. And if anything, this is a testament again to the UAE's tolerance, accepting people as they are, coming from different backgrounds, ethnicities, religions. It does not matter, and the UAE wants to make sure that this message of peace is quite clear and quite visible to everyone. As you mentioned, the temple is going to be inaugurated in Feb. Okay. I believe the tentative date is the 14th of Feb, subject to any last-minute surprises. But we are all looking forward towards that.
Thank you so much, His Excellency.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
This was great.